Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fan Experience TV. We are on episode 82. Still going towards that 100. So today we're doing something a little different. Obviously, it was a big day yesterday in the National Football League world. The schedule release for the biggest schedule ever. So we're going to get into that. So as always, we are streaming to Facebook. We are streaming to YouTube. We are streaming to LinkedIn. But there is a new player in town. And I have an Android, and I'm finally on the Clubhouse app. And we are live on Clubhouse. The name of the room is Fan Experience 2021/22 schedule breakdown. If you want to take a look at us, I am at Mike.Katos, I believe, on Clubhouse. So definitely search me and join this room. And if you want to put in your 2 cents on the schedule or anything else in the sports world, whether it's your opinion or ask a question, this is the way that we can get you fans, in the loop. And that's really what it's all about. We want to hear from you, that's what the show is about. It's about the fans. So please, sign into the room, raise your hand, and we will accommodate as best as we can. And so without further ado, for anyone just joining us for the first time, my name is Mike Katos. Alongside me is my co-host, Rick Molina. Rick, how we doing?
We're doing well, Mike. A lot going on today in the world of sports. Obviously, we're going to get to the NFL schedule here in a couple minutes. Got to start with obviously what's gone on here with the as the Knicks of the NBA is kind of winding down. The Knicks for the first time have obviously made the playoffs. Looks like they're going to be a 6 seed. They're down by 9 to the Spurs right now. We got the Mets winning 7 in a row. Your beloved New York Mets winning 7 in a row. Harvey with his emotional return to Citi Field, and the tears were flowing, and it was just a kumbaya moment. And then the Yankees with an epic series of events over there where 8 people on the Yankee staff, including Gleyber Torres, get COVID. The good news is he was vaccinated, so he's asymptomatic, so no severe disease, so that's good. But just so much going on. But I guess we got to start with your beloved Mets, 7 in a row. Harvey coming back. Obviously, DeGrom hurt, but all's well at Flushing.
Yep, and they're going to be going on a nice little road trip now. I believe they play the Tampa Bay Rays, and I believe the White Sox. They're going to go and visit. So it's it's going to be a nice little road trip, and some good teams playing well. So it's going to be it's definitely going to be a test. But yeah, the Mets just wrapped up a 2-game series with the Baltimore Orioles. Stroman pitched well in the first game. Means pitched a little bit better. Did not have a no-hit performance like he did the game prior. He gave up 6 hits and a run, I believe. And they ended up tying it in the 9th and going ahead and walking it off in the 9th. And then the very next day, you had Matt Harvey, the Dark Knight from Queens. Obviously,
made his triumphant return.
Very big part of that Mets World Series, National League Championship team that unfortunately lost to the Royals because of Cespedes and Familia. But anyway, but Matt Harvey returning, obviously, he couldn't handle the New York nightlife. He was all over the place.
Not many people can, my friend. That's
okay. He's still
okay.
Fairly young. I mean, he's only 32 years old, and he's got another chance over there with the Baltimore Orioles. And the Mets fans were, class act. They cheered for him the entire time, and yeah, he said he was holding back tears, and it was just an amazing experience, and he's never going to forget it. And he also got shellacked for about 5 runs, which thank you for that. But obviously that's part of the game. But a lot of nice hits in that second inning, and they pretty much just put their foot on the gas and ended up winning it pretty pretty easily on a very beautiful day in New York, 7-1 for a 12 o'clock start game.
Yeah.
So it was, but yeah, that's 7 in a row, and they start another game, another series tomorrow. So for those of you just joining us, we are on Clubhouse as well. So if you want to come in and listen on Clubhouse and raise your hand and come into the feed and ask a question or give your opinion, please do so. It is open. It is open for you to attend. Rick, I guess, let's talk about your Yankees. They're getting a little hotter, and obviously the Gleyber Torres and all that. So talk to us about your team over there in the Bronx.
Well, listen, first of all, hats off to Garrett Cole. Strikes out 12 in 8 innings, beating the Rays 1-0. That's a big win for the Yankees because they need to sort of break that sort of spell or hex that the Rays have on them. I think it's more of a mental thing that's happened with the Yankees against the Rays. But Cole just dominated. The Yankees are starting to win some games, starting to get a little bit of momentum. I think early season, the first month of the season is tough, first month and a half, but they're starting to roll here. But the story that 8 people or 8, staff members of the New York Yankees contracted COVID-19, is quite shocking. Not sure how that took place over there, and what's going on over there, what kind of precautions they were taking over there. But apparently, they acquired COVID-19, and Gleyber Torres, who had COVID-19 in October, tested positive for it the second time in less than a year. And the good news is, as Brian Cashman said today, the vaccines are working. He's vaccinated, he's asymptomatic, no symptoms, no severe disease. So that's a good thing. And CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky said, with regards to the Yankees, they need to learn more about the situation. But, it goes to show the effectiveness of the vaccines. So obviously all those people being vaccinated over there really helped out the Yankees. But, that's sort of shocking that after all that we've been through, that the Yankees have an outbreak like that over there. I mean, I don't know what their protocols are, but quite stunning. But be that as it may, they're starting to get on a roll. They're in third place. They're a game back. And they're starting to roll. Montgomery's pitching well. They're starting to hit. They're settling in. And so we're in for a long season, and I think it's going to be a good one. I think, when the Yankees lose games like that, I think people over panic a little bit, overreact. But now that they're getting in the groove, I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. Obviously, you can't count out the Yankees in April.
It's actually not.
Let's just be real. You can't count out anybody in April, except maybe the Pirates. But there was a time you could count out the Padres. But what's going on? Tatis got COVID too, right?
Tatis got COVID too. He's recovering from that.
Trevor Bauer is this rumors out there that he hates the Dodgers. He's unhappy with his decision to go to the Dodgers. And
this fool just signed for like a big contract, and he hasn't been there more than 2 months, and he's already miserable. Talk about like.
And how is he gonna go in the New York market and start spitting off stuff like that, and how the New York fans are gonna expect to be treating you?
I have no idea. I think right now he's just having a rough stretch. He's just going through a bit of a rough time. He's frustrated, and things will turn around for him. He's in LA, for God's sakes. If he's having a bad day, just go to the beach. You'll be all right. You'll be fine. It's May. Calm down. But what he doesn't want to do is alienate the locker room. He's calling people out. Don't do that. I'm sure the Dodgers will straighten out the ship, and things will get righted over there, and they'll go on their run. It's May 13th for the love of God. So, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, it's still too early, and the Dodgers are still the favorites, to go at least make it to the World Series. But we'll see. We're gonna have a few games against them, and let's see how all of that plays out. But the Mets are getting hot right now. Their bats are coming. They gotten this Patrick Mazeika just not getting hits yet, but driving in walk-off runs on fielders' choices a few times in this homestand, and it's exciting when we can get those little winning streaks going, and they're 5 games over 500 right now, which is nice to see, but you just got to keep it up.
Yeah, and I think
be consistent. And
I was gonna say, I think that everybody overacted with Lindor a little bit. I mean, it was April; it's a little colder. The weather's not all there.
He's
starting to hit, man.
He's starting to swing the bat well. He's starting to make some nice. He was making nice defensive plays, but he's starting to use his legs. He went and got his 100th stolen base, which ended up being a steal of second, and he ended up scoring on the same play because it went out into the outfield. So that's a nice way to put a little cherry on top of that number 100. But yeah, he just looks more comfortable at the plate. Exactly. Obviously the big home run the other day that tied the game. Like a double the other day as well. That came in a big spot. Mm-hmm. But they're getting men on second and they're driving them in, and that's something that they were not doing the first 20 days. 20 games of the season. Yeah. So they're capitalizing on some of the runners in scoring position, which has obviously plagued the Mets for a long time. And I mean, this is all happening after Chili Davis is gone. I still don't understand it, but I mean, there's some changes obviously that you could see because I think they're undefeated since
he's left. Chili. We love Chili Davis.
We do. We love Chili Davis.
We love Chili Davis.
Have you on the show, and we obviously
Lonnie Murray. We love Lonnie. Yes.
But it's just funny to see that. Yeah. Like everyone is up in arms that he got fired. The clubhouse as well, and Pete Alonso was obviously very distraught with the firing, and he said, obviously I respect the Mets decision because it's not his decision. It's the team has to make that decision. And you have to just deal with it, and you have to make the best of it. And he's been hitting the ball well. Lindor all of a sudden is hitting the ball well. So I don't know what they're doing there. I don't know if it's all mostly on the analytics side, but whatever is working, is working. So I guess you can't really you can't really question it too much.
Listen, at this point, if it ain't
broke, don't fix it. There you go.
Don't even touch it. The only thing the Mets have to worry about is obviously DeGrom and his lat issue. And I just think with the way they're playing right now, they're starting to get some momentum. I mean, don't rush him back, man. Rest him until he's fully healthy.
Well, he's already playing catch on his own accord, and
no need to rush.
I don't think. I think it's like light catches and whatnot, and obviously you need to make sure that he's 100% before they get him back out there. And Carrasco should be joining the club probably sometime early to mid-June, they're thinking, and then Noah Syndergaard is really anybody's guess. You have to pencil him in for All-Star break. Yeah. And if he comes back earlier than that, then it's a bonus. But he's gonna have to come back, and he's gonna have to, stop with the theatrics and just focus on pitching. Granted, every baseball fan out there, wants, the fanfare and the social media and and just the Twitter beefs like, Syndergaard and Bauer had earlier. We obviously want to get it appealing to the younger crowds, and, something that obviously the Major League Baseball has really neglected to do as in comparison to all the other leagues that are out there. But at the end of the day, make sure you know how to play the game. Don't dance on logos like your Juju Smith-Schuster and then fumble the ball after getting whacked on the same logo. So, just remember, the number one priority is to play the game and to play the game as efficiently as you can possibly play.
Yeah, and I think getting Syndergaard back and Carrasco, it's like, especially Syndergaard, it's like a trade at the All-Star deadline getting a new player. And I'll say it now. It's May 13th, but if the Mets get in the playoffs and they got Syndergaard, Gordon, they got DeGrom, they got Carrasco,
Stroman,
and Stroman, that's not a team that you want to face in a 5-game series, 7-game series. It's just not a team you want to face. And if they can hit the ball, you get DeGrom a run in a playoff game. I don't know how you're going to win. I really don't. It's just going to be tough. I don't care if you're the Dodgers. I don't care if you're the Padres. You can put a lot of pressure, but if he gets rolling, you get him a run or two, it's going to be tough. But let's get to the news of the week. Obviously, the big story was the schedule.
You want to talk about the playoffs quick before we break into the
NBA playoffs,
or
no? We can get to the NBA. I mean,
at the end.
Yeah, we'll talk about it at the end. I mean,
Yeah, let's go. This is it. This is the golden story of the hour. National Football League, the no fucking lulls league.
Yeah, the NFL does it again, man. That's why they're kings.
Middle of May, and they're taking the spotlight. The same week that the NBA is about to start their playoffs, the NHL is about to start their playoffs. The NFL says, no, we're still here, and we're going to talk to you about what's going to happen in September.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to watch because that's just the stronghold that we have on the American, the American media.
The American sports media, man. I mean, that's the vice grip that the National Football League has. And some of the game, and look, the way they do this schedule, I mean, they added a game, obviously. I think it's like 260 some odd games, whatever it is, whatever the number is. It's just crazy. The way and the way the NFL does it, the premier matchup, the Thursday night, the Sunday night, the Monday night football. I mean, it's just incredible what they do. And they know it's entertainment. They know it's a show. And people are there to watch not only the game, but the show. But they do a great job. And obviously, we got to start with, the opening game, Thursday, September 9th, Cowboys at Buccaneers. I am in agreement with Stephen A. I don't know how the Cowboys get this primetime slot. I mean, obviously, Dak is coming back from that broken ankle. Obviously it's the brand, it's the Dallas Cowboys, but this should have been, either a Super Bowl rematch with the Chiefs or have, Aaron Rodgers and the Green
Is it
Bay
the
Packers.
McCarthy Arians thing?
I don't know. I just think it's.
I mean, really, I don't know. I mean, they obviously have Zeke and Amari and Dak coming off the injury, which he should be good to go for week 1. They have said so, but yeah, I mean, I just don't see that for the opening game.
But it is what it is.
Obviously, you're not going to go with the Chiefs, but let's see. Yeah, let's take a look at the Bucs.
But I just think that this game, prime time is going to be a game, and then it's listen, Dak's coming off that broken leg. The question is Zeke going to come back to form, and is McCarthy going to sort of do his job, coach well, and lead this team, to a playoffs, and we'll see. But this is a good start. And then in week 1, obviously, you got the Jags and the Texans. You got the Chargers in Washington, the Seahawks and Colts. The revenge game of week 1 is obviously the Jets at the Panthers, where Sam Darnold is going to be facing his old team in Carolina, against the guy who replaced him in Zach Wilson. So that's pretty exciting.
No, that one is
filled with
exciting.
drama.
Yeah. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
You got the Miami Dolphins at the Patriots, we were talking earlier, we were looking at the Dolphins schedule. That's a tough schedule that the Dolphins, they're at, let's just touch on the Dolphins real quick. They're obviously a playoff team. They've become one of the more improved teams. They got all the draft picks. They got Tua's going to start, right? But you look at their schedule, I mean, they start out with the Dolphins.
The Patriots, yeah.
I'm sorry, they started with the Patriots, and then hold on one second. Where'd their schedule go?
Yeah, so they got at New England versus Buffalo, at Las Vegas versus Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts, at Tampa Bay, at Jacksonville against Trevor
Lawrence and Tim Tebow. We got to get into that.
Well, we talked about Tim Tebow a lot on. Tuesday, but we could talk about that.
We'll talk a little more, but yeah, I mean.
Then you got Atlanta at Buffalo versus Houston. Who knows what the quarterback situation is going to be then? Versus Baltimore towards the end of the season, November 11th.
They got the Jets.
At the Jets. Versus Carolina versus the Giants. A bye, Jets, New Orleans, Tennessee.
And they close out with New England.
And they close out versus New England at home.
I mean, that is
in Miami.
Brutal. That is a tough schedule for the Miami Dolphins.
I think based on CBS Sports, they're ranking it based on opponents' winning percentage, but you also have to realize the Jets had one of the worst records last year, so that's weighting them down on strength of schedule,
right?
And the Jets are not gonna have the same season they did last year.
No, I don't think the Jets are going to be as bad. Look, I think the Jets win 6 games. But
I think they can get to 6. Yeah, I definitely do. And then you have Carolina, is going to be a different team. The Giants, who are going to be just jam-packed on offensive playmakers.
Yeah, they're going to have guys flying
this year. And Sterling Shepard is changing his number to 3 after being 87 his whole career because of the new rules about the single numbers on anybody on the pass catching side of things,
which Brady wasn't too happy about.
Brady was not too happy about that. No. But you know what? He doesn't even wear a single number. So
exactly. So get over it, Tom. Jesus Christ.
Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? I got 10 numbers for you. It's the numbers that we've been texting you from. So text us back. All right. And tell us when you want to come on the show. Yeah. And here's one number for you. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. Yeah. So just jump on the show whenever you could grace us with your presence.
Yeah, the Dolphins, real quick. I mean, that is a tough schedule. I mean, they got some easy ones there with the Texans. The Giants going to be better, but there are no gimme games here, man. I mean, you're right. This is a tough stuff schedule. The other schedule I wanted to get into real quick was the Carolina Panthers, because I took a look at that. I took a look at that schedule when they came out, and the Panthers open up. Let me try to bring it up here. Hold on one second. Close this out real quick. My ESPN thing is going nuts.
Yeah, so the Panthers are home versus the Jets and Zach Wilson,
right?
With Sammy Darnold as quarterback. So the revenge game that we discussed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like that's a better game than the Bears and the Saints they're putting on for the first Sunday night game.
Well,
in my opinion, and I know you can't put the Jets on because because of the record that they did, but I feel like that's. Obviously it's a rookie too, but
no, I get it.
I guess it's more weighted on our New York bias,
right?
On that one, but the Bears and the Saints, no Breeze, and you're gonna probably have Fields or Dalton starting. It just
I think Justin Fields.
It's a weird, but is you have to assume Winston's gonna be the starter. If we're making a bet right now. If Winston's going to end up being the starting quarterback in week 1.
I think so. I'm with you on that one. I think, listen, they need to throw the ball. But you look at Carolina's schedule, they open home with the Jets. Then they're at the Saints. Then they're
No. They're home versus the Saints.
They're home with the Jets and the Saints. Then they're at Houston, and they're at the Cowboys. And then they got the Eagles. I mean, listen. If the
Eagles come to town, Minnesota comes to town.
Right. So if the Carolina Panthers play this thing right, I mean, first quarter of the season, they could be 4-0. They could be 4-0.
They should try to get out of
4-0. I mean,
the first 6 games.
And if you're Sam Darnold, you're looking at the schedule, and if you're Matt Rule, and you guys are saying to yourself, man, we couldn't have gotten a better schedule to start with, especially for Sam to build his confidence. You get that Jet game out of the way, all the drama, all the nonsense, coming back, revenge and all that. Then you're at the Saints, and they're still kind of trying to figure out a quarterback. The Texans are a mess. The Cowboys, you don't know if their defense hold up, and Mike McCarthy always do something stupid at the coaching position. And then you're running into the Eagles, who have issues with Jalen Hurts, and they don't know what's going on over there. I mean, you could be rolling into the Viking game third week of October, 5-0.
Yeah, well, I just want to quick shout out. We do have
Joe's on there.
Joe's in the audience at Clubhouse, so thank you very much
Thank you for watching, Joe.
For watching and listening, Joe. It's always a pleasure to have you in our audience. You've always been a big supporter, so thank you very much. Please ping some of your friends and have them join in. If you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll bring you on, and you can ask a question based on the NFL schedule that we're talking about right now. So, but anyway, yeah. So, like you said, the Panthers should be able to scratch together a few wins here.
Yeah.
And you got you're 5-1 after the first 6. Yeah, it could happen.
I mean, it could happen, man. I mean, if Matt Rule and Joe Brady plays right,
Minnesota, the Giants. I mean, the Giants are going to be a tough one for them at the Giants.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
At Atlanta, I don't know what to feel about Atlanta, man. I mean, it's just but they do got Kyle Pitts now, so I guess they got some firepower.
Yeah, but they need a defense over there, especially in the NFC South. They're going to need to stop some teams down there, but that's going to be an interesting. I'm going to be looking at that schedule, especially the first quarter of the season. I just want to see, how they break out, especially in that, because it's Carolina, the Saints, the Bucks, and who am I missing out there in the NFC? And the Falcons, and that's going to be an interesting division. The other schedule that I was looking at, Mike, is the Jaguars, and the reason I was looking at this just because of the Tim Tebow effect. And I was thinking today, as I was thinking about the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence is coming in, generational talent, but you have Tim Tebow in there. They open up at the Texans, then home to the Broncos, home to the Cardinals, at the Bengals, and then at the Titans. And I'm just wondering if Urban Meyer is going to, if it's going to be a situation for Trevor Lawrence, especially the first quarter of the season, where he's going to have to deal with not only being the quarterback there, but the Tim Tebow effect, all the nonsense that goes on with him. Are they going to run gadget plays for the guy? Is he going to want to play quarterback? I mean, that's going to be fascinating to see. But this schedule looks pretty good for them. I mean,
No, Tim Tebow's not playing quarterback. It's just,
could you imagine, though?
Get that out of your head.
No.
It's not happening.
All right. Hear me out on this. If Tebow makes the team, do you not think that Urban Meyer will get some packages from goal line?
Do I think that he could do what Taysom Hill was doing with Breeze? Yes, of course.
Wait a minute. Taysom Hill is better than Tebow.
My point is only for gadget type plays and trick plays. It wouldn't even be at the Taysom Hill level. It would be more like, halfback, tight end passes, stuff like that. Like, or tight end runs. I mean, what's his face does them a lot. Kittle and stuff, right?
Yeah,
but there's a lot of runs and stuff. And who's the other guy that does them a lot?
Travis Kelce?
Yeah, he does them. He does them a decent amount, I guess.
Look, man, I don't.
But there's another. There's somebody else that was doing a lot of them. Was it Waller? No, it wasn't Waller.
Darren Waller for the Raiders? No. But here's the point I want to get at is that I just think this. I'm fascinated with the schedule because I just this drama that's going to be going down there, right? If Trevor Lawrence is the number one pick and he's a generational talent, and Urban Meyer has these plays for Tebow, the moment you see Tebow under center, that is going to be a problem down there. I can guarantee you. And
I'd be surprised if Tebow plays more than 150 snaps the whole year.
I would be shocked if he made the team. Like if he makes the team,
and that too.
Yeah,
we're still not even. We're literally in the earliest of stages at this point. Like,
but
these teams aren't even.
No,
they don't even have their full teams ready yet. So they're still trying to sign the free agents, trying to make some trades, and it's God,
I
just think that we're thinking into it too much. Trevor Lawrence is the guy, and that's just the way it is. So I do want to touch on the hardest schedule of all of them. Ranked by the 2020 winning percentages of the opponents. The hardest schedule is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if you remember last year, they were going undefeated up until what, week 11, 12?
Week 11. They were 11-0 going into week 12.
And then they lost the last like 4 out of the last 7 games,
Yeah,
or was it 5? And then they got shellacked in the first round of the playoff by the Browns, and like 45 points, on the board, like it was nothing. And I mean, they did fight towards the end, but it was a little too late. So let's talk about brutal. So their first team they lost to was a football team, oddly enough. But now I think they're not going to have this cake schedule like they did last year. Yeah. They're going into Buffalo. Yeah. Okay. Buffalo made it into the AFC Championship. They went up against the Saints, the Chiefs, mind you, and they're looking good. Stephon Diggs over there. Josh Allen is obviously coming into his own. They got a lot of playmakers. They made a couple of moves for a couple of more. Did they get a running back yet? I think they did get somebody. I just
not sure.
I'm drawing a blank on who they got, but obviously they needed a lot of help in the running game, because that's why they could not win the game. They couldn't match up with the Chiefs.
They had Ben throwing 50 times a game.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Bills.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Steelers did draft the running back. Mm-hmm. The Steelers drafted a running back. Yeah. So anyway, the Steelers are playing in Buffalo. Then they have the Raiders coming to town, which they could probably win that game, but it's really what Ben is going to show up.
And Ben is also 38, 39 years old. Man.
Exactly, and he's been battered and bruised,
and not the best of shape.
Then you got Burrow coming to town. Of course they made some moves, and we just got to see how effective Burrow's going to be. Come week 3. Then they're going to the Green Bay Packers, which we assume that Aaron Rodgers is still going to be quarterback in that team, because that's what it's trending towards right now.
Yeah.
Then you got the Broncos. All right, they could win that one, especially at in Pittsburgh. Then the Seahawks. Russell Wilson could take care of business there. A bye week. Then they have to play the Browns in Cleveland. Bears come to town. I could see them winning that one. Detroit Lions with Jared Goff. That one's probably a nice win for the Steelers maybe. And then at the Chargers with Justin Herbert. You can't sleep on the Chargers. Can't sleep on them. At Cincinnati. Baltimore comes to town. At Minnesota. Tennessee. At Kansas City in Week 17. Cleveland comes to town. And then they finish it off at Baltimore.
Jesus.
So it's they have 10. How many playoff teams are they playing against?
A lot.
Yeah.
It looks like that whole schedule is a playoff team. Yeah.
Yeah. They have the Lions, the Broncos, and the Chargers were not a playoff team, but
they're better.
They played better than their record showed.
Yeah.
So I would even put them in that type of category. Minnesota, they were getting hot at the right time, but they just fell short. Tennessee is hot, but really, other than the Lions and the Broncos, they're all playoff caliber teams, or maybe Cincinnati, but I think even Cincinnati takes a step up.
Yeah, because they got Jamar Chase over there. Look, that's a brutal schedule. That is just brutal.
Matt Breida went to the Bills. Thank you, Ashwin, our resident Bills expert.
Ashwin.
Thank you.
Speaking of the Bills, I want to take a look at their schedule real quick, because the Bills are a team that people are thinking of going to the Super Bowl. They got to an AFC championship.
I thought that they could beat the Chiefs, and they fell short. Losing that one running back in the first game of the playoffs, the first playoff game, definitely hurt them. Yeah. And I think if that didn't happen, I think they could have. I think they could have beat Mahomes, and obviously there's a blueprint on how to beat him.
Yeah,
obviously they've shorn up their offensive line now, so it's going to be a little tougher to get to him and make him run for 500 yards.
Exactly,
like he did in that Super Bowl.
But if you look at this schedule, I mean, they're home to the Steelers, then they're at the Dolphins, then they're at the Washington football team, and people are going to sleep on them. Mike, they got a hell of a defensive line. They got Ryan Fitzpatrick over there. They got Ron Rivera coaching. That team is going to be tough in the NFC East. Don't sleep on them. They're going to be pretty good. They got some players over there.
Yeah, but you're saying tough in the NFC East.
No, I think Washington is going to be one of the better teams in the NFC East. They might win the division. They're that good.
But the better teams in the NFC East.
No, I get it. I think the Giants are going to be better. I think
Giants will be better than they were.
Yeah, I think the NFC East
Eagles have the easiest schedule based on 2020 opponents.
I think the Eagles got a lot going on over there. But I'm just looking at back to the Bills. I mean, then they got the Texans. They're at the Chiefs. They're at the Titans, Dolphins, Jaguars, Jets. And then they got a run of this. Look at this. They got a run of the Colts, Saints, Patriots, Buccaneers, Panthers, Patriots. And then they close it out with the Falcons and the Jets. I mean, this is tough. You know, there are those seasons where these teams, we think they're going to be Super Bowl seasons. Then they get into these schedules. They get some, they run into some teams, man. And it's just tough. So I'm interested to see how the Bills do next year with their schedule. Because that's another schedule that is just, you look at it and you're like, Jesus, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, it is, but I think they certainly, there's certainly a team on the rise.
Yeah,
and
speaking of a team on the rise, let's talk about our beloved New York Jets. We're getting into it. We're getting into the locals. We're doing it now.
All right. Well, I was actually going to touch on the Super Bowl winning Bucks
first
because they have one of the easier schedules, and I just want to
let's get into the Bucks real quick.
Yeah. So they're like the fourth easiest schedule.
Yeah.
And I personally think that we're talking about how the Cowboys versus the Bucks in Week 1 just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
That's where they should have slotted the Bucks versus the Bills, which is what the Super Bowl should have been or could have been.
But it wasn't.
And I think that would be a good game to start it off, especially with Brady going up against the Bills, who we have tons of history against, and the Bills on the up and up. I don't know. I think that would have been better, but they are playing the Cowboys and the Falcons, and they're at the Rams with Stafford.
Yep.
And then you got at the New England Patriots. Tom Brady returning to Foxborough to go up against Belichick. And I mean, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Cam Newton, or is it going to be Mac Jones?
I don't think Mac Jones is starting for
But regardless, it's the New England Patriots. So no matter which way you slice it, it's still going to be Belichick out there, and that's going to be a game. That's going to be a nice game, and hopefully there is some nice little competition going. As far as the quarterback, sense goes, but. Yeah, Week 4, it's going to be a nice little return to Foxborough.
Yeah, that's a Week 4 Sunday night matchup
for Brady, for Gronk, for Edelman by then.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Week 4 Sunday night matchup. That's a matchup where you're at a bar with some wings watching the game, and you're taking the next day off. That's what that's all about, right there.
Yeah, you got.
But look, Tampa's schedule is I'm looking at the schedule right now. They're opening
at like fourth easiest. You got Dolphins, and you got Eagles, and you got Bears, and you got the Saints.
Don't sleep on the Dolphins. Look, as far as the Dolphins go, like the only way I can see it going bad is if Tua is just terrible. But the Dolphins are loaded. I mean, they got some talent on that team. But they got the Patriots, Dolphins, the Eagles is tough, the Bears. See, here's the thing, and you're right. They get the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, then they get the Bears with the quarterback issue, the Saints with the quarterback issue. I mean, they're on a run right here, and this is why they might go like 7-0 to start. They're on a run where they have issues from the Patriots up until the Dolphins, Eagles, Bears. They're on a run about 6 or 7 games where they're just issues at quarterback. Washington up until the Giants, there are issues at quarterback. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, Joe likes the bar and wings idea. All right, Let's do it, Joe. Let's do it.
Bar and wings, way to go.
So Yeah, I mean, so I guess we can move on to the Jets and
Yeah,
then
let's get to the Jets here
play with the
because
Jets and the Giants schedules here.
yeah, so we can we'll round out the show
So
here.
the
But
Jets are around middle of the pack, like 13th. 13th is as far as like the easiest schedule. So
yeah,
right, they're pretty much right in the middle of the pack there.
Mhm.
And we already mentioned, a couple times they're opening in Carolina against
Yeah.
their former quarterback Sam Darnold, against their former wide receiver and Robbie Anderson.
Yep.
We're probably going to connect a couple of times in that game.
Yeah.
That's my early
Prediction.
bet, and hopefully those sports books are open by the time NFL kickoff rolls around, so I could put some money on that little wager.
Yeah.
And then they got the Patriots coming to town.
Yep.
Then they're going to Denver. Then the Tennessee
then
Titans come to town. So those first 4 games,
Here's the thing about this schedule, and as I look at it, by the time they get to the Patriots close to the end of October, those are 2 games right there. Burrow will be better, but this is just a buzzsaw up until the Texans here, and then they get to the Jaguars, Bucks, and Bills at the end. I mean, look, this is a 6-10. This is a 6-6-10, 6-11 schedule right here. The Jets should be better, but man, oh man, I mean, the NFL didn't do Jets any favors. I mean, they got the Broncos. I think we know the Jets going to have a better defense. They're going to play real good defense. That front four is
and a better offense too.
Yeah, that front 4 is going to get after people. I think offensively they're going to be better.
Yes, they'll be better.
They'll be a lot better.
Yes.
And I think towards the end of the year you'll see.
So the Jaguars game is Christmas, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is Christmas. That is a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
No, what's the 26th? Let's take a look here.
Yeah, it's Sunday the 26th, but I'm just saying, like Christmas week. I'm just
Yeah, that game is Sunday the 26th. Yeah, because Christmas falls on a Saturday.
And they got Tampa Bay the very next week. Tampa has to come to New York for New Year's.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Tom Brady's gonna be hanging out in the Big Apple.
Well, he does have a house in Greenwich Village, so
I'm sure he has a house in plenty of places.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Giants schedule.
Because Giselle can afford them.
Wow. I know.
This is what happens when you don't text us back, Tom.
No comment.
Well, actually, Tom Brady doesn't get paid that much. He wants the team around him, which is admirable. Like he doesn't care about that. He just wants to win at all costs. So that's why he does.
Let's take a look at the Giants real quick. They open up home to the Broncos. They're at Washington. That's going to be a good game. Then Falcons, Saints, Cowboys. I mean, hey, listen, the Giants can go on an early run here. 4-1, 4-1, 3-2. I can see that happening. Then
I'm pulling it up right now. So you got Broncos, Washington, Falcons, Saints,
and then they're at
and the Cowboys.
They're at the Saints. They're at the Cowboys. They're home to the Rams and home to the Panthers. And they're at the Chiefs. They got the Raiders. They're at the Bucks, Eagles, Dolphins, Chargers, Cowboys. I think it's fair to say that the Giants should be a playoff team this year. I think the expectations are there. Their draft picks are there.
So what are you thinking? 10-7?
Mm-hmm. 9-8, 10-7. Yeah. God, that sounds so weird.
9-8 gets it though. Yeah, I know it does sound weird. It does sound weird to weird.
Well, in this division,
have to do that math like that. But you got the Broncos. They could win. The football team, I think that it's in Washington, so that one might be a little dicey on that part. But the Broncos, they could beat Washington. They'll probably split. Yeah. Washington will take their home turf. The Falcons coming into town, still early on, so you don't know if the offense is going to be clicking on all cylinders yet for the Falcons with Pitts and all them. But
mm-hmm.
their defense is still a little, little
Hey,
shaky
listen,
too.
the Washington football team's defense is stout. I mean,
No. I'm talking about Falcons. I already said that
Oh
Washington
yeah,
was going
yeah.
to win there.
Here's the other thing about the Giants. I 9-8, 10-7. I mean, that offense is loaded. You got Saquon coming back. You just drafted Kadarius Toney. You got Sterling Shepard over there. You have Evan Ingram over there. They just signed Kenny Golladay. Who else am I missing? There's another receiver that I'm missing over there. I'm missing somebody.
Golden Tate's gone, right?
No, yeah. What's the other guy's name from Auburn? He was a steal of the draft. I can't remember.
Oh, yes. The
I can't remember his
Darius Toney, John Ross. John Ross is there.
No, John. It's not John Ross. John Ross can't run a route. He can run a 4.2, but can't cut. I mean,
yes. Here we go. Wide receivers on the roster here.
Darius Slayton. That's who it is.
Oh yeah.
You got Evan Ingram.
Kyle Rudolph is on the team.
Yeah, he's on that team. I mean, you got Sterling Shepard there, Kenny Golladay. I mean, the Giants have nothing but weapons, so they should be a solid team.
This should be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Dante Pettis, John Ross. I mean, John Ross can bust a nice little deep route.
If you need somebody to catch a Hail Mary,
but you don't need but you don't need him to do too much. Like you could use him for those those types of plays, and obviously Shepard. Oh, they already have his number. It's changed to 3 here.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Derek Dillon is number 6.
I think that the Giants should be a playoff team. I mean, how do you stop them?
Shot.
The only way they stop themselves is that Daniel Jones just keeps throwing.
Daniel Jones keeps tripping over his own feet on 70-yard touchdown.
But if that play shows you anything, is the kid's athletic. He can run. He can move. He's not one of these sort of stale quarterbacks, right? So I just think, what is this? It's going to be his 4th year, right?
Daniel Jones, I believe so.
Yeah, if he doesn't nail it down now, then I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to have to look into the other options in the next draft, or trying to make a move for somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely weird to have this like 17 game season upcoming, for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So it's weird ground. But I guess let's go through some of the marquee matchups.
Yeah, let's do that.
We talked about the Bucs and the Patriots. Obviously, there's a lot riding on that. With Brady, very emotional game. Wings and beers with our friend Joe over there. And then you got Packers at the Chiefs. That's another marquee game. That's a game of the week on November 7th. You got Bills at Chiefs, so it's going to be a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. That's the week right after Bucs Patriots. So you're gonna have 2 back-to-back, monster weeks there. Cowboys and Buccaneers, they're ranking as a marquee game. I don't see how you could put that in as a marquee game, but
no.
Jaguars at Texans.
I don't see that.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe because
if you're thinking Deshaun Watson's going to be there, then it makes sense. The Packers at the Saints, I mean that could go up in the air. It really depends on who's going to be the quarterback of either team, actually.
Yeah.
Broncos at Chiefs. The Broncos at the Chiefs is an interesting one, because the Broncos are going to do better than they did last year, but the Chiefs still are going to own that division. I think the Chargers are going to take a step up. You got the Bills at the Saints. I think with Drew Brees out of there, it kind of takes a little bit away from the Saints.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if Jameis is quarterback,
yeah. Jets go to London. They play the Falcons. The
They're
Dolphins
going
as
to
well.
London.
The Dolphins go to London as well. And who do they play in London? I'm not having it. I don't have it in front of me right now, but
Is it Jacksonville?
they might. It might be. It might be. You're probably right. But it's Jets Falcons in London.
And the other
Jaguars at the Jets. Like that's one. That's one I want to see.
Yeah,
for sure.
Wilson against Lawrence. That's going to be interesting.
Yep. Bucks at Rams. I think that's that's going to be something to watch because of Stafford moving over to the Rams. I'm really curious to see what he can do. In Los Angeles, Stafford.
Well, I think he's going to have a great season. He's going to have better coaching, better players, better talent. He's going to have a ridiculous season. All he has to do is stay healthy because he always gets hurt. He can stay healthy, he's good to go.
And the annual Chiefs Ravens testing out whether Lamar Jackson is a quarterback or a running back, and in like week 2, I feel like every year it's like week 2, week 3 the Chiefs.
Man, I'm going to tell you something right now. This is Lamar Jackson. He's probably going to get an extension. They're going to work on an extension for Lamar Jackson, but if Lamar Jackson does not work on getting the ball down the field and is getting better at his throwing, Ravens ain't winning. They can win all the regular season games they want, but they get into the playoffs, and we saw it again. They just can't. I can't win those spots. You got to be able to win from the pocket in this league, and he still hasn't mastered that. And that's got to be concerning. I mean, look, as great as he is, that's got to be concerning.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You just gotta, take a couple more shits and get a.
Oh, jeez, poor guy had to go to the bathroom. I mean, let him be.
Well, I'm just saying he played well.
Yeah,
he played well after that. So he just knows what to do before the games. But anyway, what else? Any other marquee games you want to touch on?
Let's see. Just trying to look
anything that in.
I just wanted to see.
Yeah, obviously we didn't pull up any of the odds, but so I guess who do you think is gonna go to the Super Bowl?
In the NFC right now, obviously the Bucks are the favorite. They got everybody coming back, so they're the favorite.
Strength of schedules.
Yep, they're the favorites. I think Green Bay. They need to.
Green Bay has to get their act together.
And I don't want to hear about having home field with Green Bay. They need to get their shit together. They got to get another corner out there to be able to not do stupid things and let somebody run past down the field by them before halftime. So they need to do that. But I think right now, obviously in the NFC, the Bucks of the team, Seattle's going to be good. Arizona with J.J. Watt going over there, obviously. Let's see if Kyler Murray can turn it around. And then and obviously in the AFC, it's Kansas City. I mean, there's no, Buffalo's going to be Buffalo, Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of two teams I'm looking at. So, and I really don't know because if Mahomes is standing after 17 games, then you go with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
but
you gotta go.
Here's the thing about now Kansas City: their defense is too finesse, man. They gotta get tougher in the defense. They were mauled in the Super Bowl. I mean, you and I were watching that game. It was like a beating, and it didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people were watching that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a beating on both sides. Mahomes just had to run for his life, and the Buccaneers were just running down the field at their own will.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it went down, and it's just something about Brady in Super Bowls, man. It's just unbelievable. Like he just keeps all his little tricks ready for just the Super Bowl, and puts them out at his beck and call. It's amazing to just see how that works out, and you can't say it's Belichick, Belichick at least, because he definitely proved something there.
But remember, Belichick, 8 guys didn't play. They didn't have 8 guys not play.
But my point is Brady did make it, and
he went to Super Bowl.
Went out. Yeah.
Obviously, greatest of all time. But Belichick's got guys coming back this year. He, Cam is in the second year.
If Brady didn't leave the Patriots, I think many of them would not have opted out.
I think so too. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But we're going to see this year, man. I'm telling you, this is so fast. When this schedule came out, I just literally, you're like, okay, when's the summer going to end? Like, come on, summer. Let's get it over with. Let's go. Get to September because I'm ready for some football.
And, we're all ready for some football.
Literally,
obviously, we have baseball, in full swing here. Middle of May, and that race for the pennant is just gonna keep going for a few more months now. But there are playoffs about to start. So our hometown Islanders, congratulations to them. They are in the playoffs yet again. And those playoffs, they kick off this Saturday. You got the Bruins and the Capitals.
Yep.
You got the Islanders and the Penguins going at it. The Lightning's right back in it. The Panthers are back in it again. Our boy Scotty Wolf, obviously with that Panthers Islanders little, dilemma that he had last year.
Yeah.
But I think he's going with Islanders this year. But we'll get his take on that. But yeah, so that's going to start off.
We got to get our resident hockey analyst.
And dude, and Tanner, yeah. But you got the Hurricanes and the Predators. They're in it. And it's kind of ironic. You have one of the teams, Vancouver, like decimated by COVID.
Yeah,
where they were and it's held things up. But it's like nobody was allowed in Canada last year, and now all of a sudden Canada's getting it, running through rampant.
Wildfire. That's crazy.
Because this is the first time they were exposed to it.
Yeah.
So they closed off those borders, and now now they're getting it a little later than others. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, Jets and Oilers, Panthers, Lightning, the Canadians, and the Maple Leafs. So let's see how it all plays out there. But your beloved Knicks,
my beloved New York Knicks, as I'm watching right now,
a little bit about this upcoming playoff scenario that is unfolding. How are the Knicks doing right now?
So the Knicks right now are up 2. Right? The Knicks were down in this game 18. They come back. They take a lead. They're up 2, 5.7 seconds. DeMar DeRozan shoot a couple free throws here to see if he ties this game or gets them within 1. But what the Knicks have done this year has just been truly remarkable. Thibodeau, what he is – what happened there?
What?
Nick Ball. Okay, Nick Ball. What he's done has just been remarkable. This team last year under David Fraudsdale, because he was just that terrible of a coach, was just awful. Mike Miller came in, took over. But this is what happens when you have professional coaching, you have a professionalism in the top of the organization, and you have a structure and a culture and a direction. The Knicks have turned it around. They've won 38 games. It'll be a 39th win tonight. They're the 6th seed in the playoffs. Right now, they're slated to play the Milwaukee Bucks. But the Knicks have 2 games left. They're trying to catch Atlanta for the 4th seed. It's between Atlanta, Miami, and the Knicks right now.
Yeah.
How it's going to settle out.
So we got a couple more games, and then we'll
but it's
figure out.
What the Knicks have done has just been truly incredible. I mean, coming in here and just Vegas had them winning 22 games. I mean, they're going to win 40 games this year.
Yeah, no, they definitely went above and beyond what the public and the sports books expected them to do. And by the way, my contact over there at the Knicks, I will be getting an email shortly when they figure out what the playoff situation is looking like, and I will keep you posted. See if we can hit one of those games.
Here we go. If not, we can always go to Blarney Stone, watch a game over there on 31st and 8th. They always got some good wings and beers there. Yeah.
I mean, whatever it is, but curious to see what the tickets are going to be like. It's probably going to be pretty crazy for the first time in what was it? When was the last time they went?
2013.
13. Yeah. So I mean, it's probably going to be up there. Obviously. Best arena in the world and whatnot on top of everything else. And I mean, the Rangers aren't going to be playing there.
No, they just fired Sam. They just fired a couple people. Coach GM, everybody. Chris Drury's taking over there. But no, what the Knicks have done has truly just been remarkable. Right now, they are the 5th seed at 39 and 31.
6th seed right now.
No,
right?
they just moved up. They just moved up.
They just moved up because Miami just lost.
Yes. So they just moved up a half game. So the Knicks are the 5th seed, and right now they play Atlanta, and I would love that matchup. I mean, you got the Knicks in Atlanta, and then you get Philadelphia if you win that series in the second round.
Okay, it's not updated on mine, so
no, it's not. I got the game on, so that's what.
Gotcha. So the Heat lost, or the Knicks won?
The Knicks won. The Knicks won.
So you're awaiting the Heat. You're awaiting the Heat result.
Is that? Let me see. Let me see what the Heat result is. They're still playing. The Heat are still playing. Oh, they're killing. They're killing.
Yeah. So then
the Knicks will be the 6th seed.
Yeah. So they'll be right there still.
Hey, but this is
106-91. Yeah.
Julius,
so
listen.
There's only a minute left. So yeah.
The Knicks play tough defense. The Knicks are a team that play tough defense. Julius Randle's out there playing his ass off. Now, here's the thing about the Knicks moving forward. I don't know that you want to give Julius Randle a max deal. Don't go crazy. Maybe give him a 1-year, 2-year extension.
I think we can't.
Well, we can't get into that right now. Let's just
you can't talk about that right now. Like, you got to finish the season, and you talk about that. If the guy helps you win an NBA Finals, your tune's gonna change. Okay.
No, it's not gonna change.
No, it's not. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's not gonna change.
All
I still think that.
Okay.
I still think that, but we'll get to that a little later. But no, kudos to the Knicks and what they've done, and hopefully next week we're talking about a first round playoff matchup against whoever it is, whether it's
the Bucks,
or the Hawks,
or the Heat. I mean, Knicks Heat would be fun to watch. Obviously,
it'd be like the old days.
But the Heat could definitely play with the big boys, and they proved it last year. But we'll see.
Get Nick Occolino back in the show, talk some trash.
We should. I'm sure there's going to be some national anthems coming his way in the next few weeks with the Heat back in the swing of things there.
Yep.
And we definitely need to touch pace with him and everybody else, and we still have to get to that place down in Miami. What was it called again?
11.
Yeah. There you go.
Place, when you're having a bad day, just stop off at 11. When things aren't going right.
Free plugs. We give free plugs here.
Yeah.
Speaking of plugs, this show is brought to you by Playing the Field.
Playing the Field, yes.
Playing the Field is helping teams keep their fans engaged and helping fans get engaged to each other. So sign up and pre-register for Playing the Field right now at playingthefield.io. All right. So this was a great show. We got we talked a lot of baseball. We talked a hell of a lot of football. We previewed these NHL and NBA playoffs. The both will be tipping off and facing off in the next few days. And the NHL playoff picture is set. NBA is to come, but a great weekend upcoming for the sports world. And in other news, the CDC is saying that vaccinated people can shed the mask outside and many places inside, with the exception of a few. But go take a look at all that. And obviously, if you work at a certain establishment, and whatever they say goes. Whatever even though the CDC says masks, you just gotta work on whatever your employer says. And I mean, but it's a great thing, for in the right direction. And I wonder, do we have to wear masks at Citi Field, the Yankee Stadium? I guess that's going to be up to the stadium, obviously.
Yeah, but I think
I think they're gonna follow suit with the CDC.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's kind of nice to see us moving in this direction, being able to see people's faces again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good stuff. And let's just keep moving that way. And it looks like we will be. So All right. Until Tuesday, we have we have a great show in line for you on Tuesday. We're gonna have the creator of the Glove Drop. It's a lot of great hockey content, a lot of funny hockey content. The host of that, Tara Fitzgerald, will be joining us Tuesday night, and maybe we'll talk some hockey playoffs with her as well. So just tune in 9 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we'll go back on Clubhouse, and try to see if anyone wants to jump on and give their 2 cents. And that's just what we'll do. There's going to be a new platform for everyone to engage, and it's going to be the easier one for the fans to call in and talk. So, Joe, thank you very much for tuning in and chiming in. Please tell your friends that we're going to be on Clubhouse, come next week. And if anyone wants to talk, if you want to jump on stage, ask any questions or give any insight, by all means, just jump on. Anyway, have a great night, everybody. Any final thoughts for you, Rick?
No, we're good, man. This was a great one. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Enjoy the sports and some basketball, and we'll see you all next week when the playoffs begin. And until then, stay safe.
Have a great weekend.
Peace.